more cheers for him alone. I can't hear you.
All right. So we're live now.
Oh my God, bro. Are you kidding me?
No, bro. Because the whole time it was okay. Anyways, guys, hey, welcome in. Sorry, we're about 8 minutes late. This is the first time I had a scheduled stream. And so I'm looking at it, it's like, wait, scheduled, it's showtime. And I'm like, something's not right here. And the whole time it's like my microphone, dude, like you're blasting in my ears. Like you're literally, can you whisper?
Who, me?
Yeah, can you turn down your volume? Dude, it's so loud in my AirPods. I'm gonna go deaf. That's how bad it is. Yeah.
I'm
Hold
going to
on.
lose my mind because that was 8 minutes of great content that we just gave. But it's all good, man. We're going to roll it right back. Start
Yeah.
from the beginning. If you want, go ahead and share what you had talked about before, and then I'll just kind of go right into the game recap from the first to the fourth quarter, and then we'll kind of give our opinions on overall what we saw from this game.
Yeah. Let me switch into this really quick. Alright, so go ahead and just talk about how what went on tonight, Nick. Vince, what's going on? The Lakers game, Luka coming back to Dallas for the first time. Just tell us the emotion that went on. What did it feel like?
Yeah, man. So basically, from what I saw from the start to the finish was very interesting. This is the first time in NBA history we've seen a return game for a player who got traded with the magnitude that Luka is, as good as he is, but never requested a trade. So a lot of people were interested to see how Dallas was going to, in terms of their fan base, receive Luka once they saw. And I think most people consensus kind of had an idea that there wasn't going to be any animosity, there wasn't going to be any bad blood. Clearly, the fans very much love Luka. Luka very much loved the fans and the city of Dallas. So you kind of expected that there was going to be some cheers, but man, shout out to the Dallas Mavericks fan base, man. I got to tell you, they really showed up and showed out. You can tell that they really gave a lot of love and care to this guy, Luka, and you can tell in return, Luka really gave a lot of love and care for the fan base. Starting from the very beginning, before we even got into the game, they had an amazing and very heartwarming and beautiful trivia, beg my pardon, video for Luka. Uh-oh, are we black? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
there we go. Okay.
Technical difficulties, guys.
No worries. Hey, work in progress, baby. So,
can you hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's just start from the top, man. Emotional game, bro. Emotional. The Luka crying, bro, during the tribute video. I mean, it just goes to show you how much he really was shocked by the whole trade. I mean, he put in so much blood, sweat, and tears into that team just for him to get traded. You knew how much it meant to him. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like I started crying myself, like started tearing up because it was that sad, It's like, how could you do that to a player who had given you so much? I don't like you're telling me out of all the players that people have, stuck through and given chance after chance, whatever issues they were going through, just to trade them, just to not trade them away. And then you're talking about a generational type talent in Luka. You're willing to give up on him at 26 years old. That's just wild to me. I mean, is this real talk or just talk?
Well, yeah. It's weird because even as a Lakers fan, you can in some ways sympathize with the Mavericks fans to a degree. Not from a standpoint that we can relate to trading a superstar, let alone an international superstar player as good as Luka. We've never done that before. This is the first time it's ever happened in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that This is everybody's first time witnessing a situation like this, and then to see Dallas fans show up and show out and support Luka the way that they did, it just goes to show, man, Mavs fans are world class. And that's straight up. That's real talk. Because as a Laker fan, it's obvious and easy. We support our team, we support our players. But I think it's important to also pay attention to how other fan bases are a lot of times too. And they clearly did not want to lose Luka. Luka clearly did not want to get traded. But it's almost in some ways, I feel like this game was therapeutic in a healing way for both
Oh,
Luka and for the fans.
yeah.
You can clearly tell that the fans really had his back all game long. It's funny because for Laker fans, we are used to, even on away games, having Laker support show up and show out. But it was the fact that there were a lot of Luka fans out there that almost made this like a home game for the Lakers. And it wasn't a great start to the game, which we'll talk about here shortly. But man, I gotta say, like the video that they played for Luka was world class, beautiful, and it was so good that like you said, you saw him tear up, you saw him get emotional. He didn't really know going into this game how he was going to feel, how he was going to react, or how he was going to respond. But I thought overall, Luka had an amazing game. We'll go into the stats here in a second because I want to hear more about your perspective watching the game live. Before we get to the game, like what was your take in terms of just how the Lakers were able to embrace Luka, give Luka this moment? I think he had the most shots, if I'm not mistaken, in the game for the Lakers. He did, but it didn't even seem like it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like he was like hunting for anything. He really did his damage everywhere on the court at the right time and at the right place. So honestly, I thought it was a great game considering it was a back-to-back game after the emotional loss to the Thunder. Luka just getting, a second technical foul and getting ejected. And this was a great response for the Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, even he said it himself after the game. He didn't know how he was going to play that game when they saw the tribute video, which is funny because they timed it perfectly because I don't know how many tribute videos I've seen, but they were never at the beginning of the game. They were usually like in a timeout somewhere in the middle of the game. I don't know, maybe first timeout, something like that. But it felt like they did it on purpose so they could try to like get Luka off his rhythm, try to get him all emotional. To be fair, I mean, like I said, I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to play like that. I mean, it was wild. But I think that the Lakers definitely they wanted this game for Luka. And we're talking about on a back-to-back, the second night of a back-to-back, after the Mavs hadn't played since like Saturday, I believe. So the Mavs had rest. They were rested, and it didn't seem like that though. Maybe the Lakers just really wanted it. I mean, and thank God we got the win tonight because we had 3 games and we needed to win 2 of them. And so thankfully we won tonight's because if it wasn't tonight, it's like you got to win out. So I'm thankful that we won tonight. But that game, AD, he didn't seem like he was really an impact on the floor as much as I thought he would be. I don't know, kind of shocking to me, but I guess that's what happens when you don't have LeBron next to you.
Well,
but here, let me pull up the NBA today because I'm curious to see. Because last time I checked, the Clippers, the Warriors, and the Nuggets both were like within a couple points of each other on tonight's game, and that's kind of shocking with the Warriors going against the Spurs. But I just want to look at tonight's games here and see where we're at. Okay, so the Nuggets.
The Nuggets and the Kings. Nuggets definitely need to win that game. They don't want to play around and end up in like the 7th seed, I'm pretty sure.
Man, what's up with these? What's up with the Rockets, man? Come on, what is this? You're better than this.
You know what's funny? If the Rockets lose today, they still haven't secured the 2 seed.
No, they did.
No,
they secured it.
Nope. I'm telling you right now, because if you look at the records, I don't know if you could pull up the conference and everything, the standings. Look, so actually, no, yeah, you're right. Well, wait,
They've clinched it.
no. Because they still have 4 games left, don't they?
No.
They only have 3?
Yeah, because add the 2 numbers up and it's 79.
Oh, yeah, okay. So they locked in
Yeah,
number.
and you can tell by
Okay.
this little orange marker on the left side what that orange marker means.
Well,
Clinched
I thought
division.
that meant they clinched the playoffs, which, I mean, that was given because of the amount of wins that they have. They have more wins than the other teams below them are going to be able to reach.
You know,
But
that's true.
The Lakers couldn't even get to 52. So you're right. Yeah. So the
Oh yeah.
Rockets locked in the 2 seed.
So they don't have nothing to play for tonight. They're not tripping.
Pull up that game real quick because I'm actually curious. I know we're supposed to be going into the Lakers game, but all these games are so important at this stretch of these last 3 games that it's kind of important to know, really what's going on. So, yeah, if you can, I mean, just looking at
Oh
looking
yeah.
at the lineup right now, you see no Şengün, you don't see Dylan Brooks,
No. No.
yeah, I mean,
Man.
not playing. So clearly they already locked in the 2 seed. They're clearly just resting, which means chances are for the Lakers, they're not going to be. I mean, I would be surprised if the Rockets randomly decided to play their starters in Friday's matchup with the Lakers, just from the standpoint that it's a waste of time. You don't want to show the Lakers too much, anyways.
Or is this another one of those? Everybody plays when it comes to Lakers.
Well, so that applies. I would say throughout the regular season until you've locked in your spot. Now the Thunder, I don't understand what's going on with the Thunder. I mean, unless they're trying to have the best overall record over the Cleveland Cavaliers, so that if they go to the finals and they have to face the Cavaliers, they have.
That's already lost too. They can't do that either.
Who?
They can't do that either.
Who?
Wait, what? Wait, am I looking at the right season?
Yeah.
So the Thunder, they've already locked up. No. The Thunder haven't locked up the first seed, so they should be playing tonight.
Yeah, they're playing right now. They're playing the Suns. They're up by 5, it looks like, right now.
Yeah. But I thought that the Cavs had already locked.
Click on that game real quick. I want to see if their starters are actually playing this game still. Yeah, see, look. So they're still playing their starters.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So, and you got to wonder, the strategy that the Thunder are taking right now.
Wait. Shea is not playing tonight. Neither is Lu Dort.
Played, but the others have. Shea probably just taking rest because it's a back-to-back. Feel me? But everybody else, they're still playing. So
yeah, but they probably thought they don't need all their starters to beat the Suns.
I'm trying to figure out what is the Thunder's strategy here, because you already locked in for 1 seed. I mean, yes, it would be nice to have the number 1 overall seed, but at the same time, anything can happen in these games. You're 1 ankle twist, 1 bump knee, 1 collateral damage away from literally. We're talking about some of your key players getting hurt going into the postseason. I mean, look at the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies just lost Jalen Wells.
Oh my gosh!
Player for their defensive end, and he's a very good developmental first year rookie player for the team. That's a big hit.
That was wild. They brought out the whole hospital gear and everything out on the floor and stretched him out. I've seen people get put on a stretcher and left the game, and it's a concussion, but his was bad. They had to take out almost the defibrillator on him, bring him back to life.
Oh yeah. But yeah, let's go back to the games. Let's go back to the game stats for the Lakers and the Mavericks, just for those who didn't get a chance to catch the game. I'm going to kind of for a quick recap overall for the game, and then I'm also going to bring out some stats if you want to pull up that game real quick.
Dude, I thought someone in the comments was lying when they were like, Luka's definitely giving Nico that 50-pointer. And no, they weren't lying. Gave him that 40 burger.
Close. He was real close.
Honestly, he could have if he stayed in the game, but I don't want that.
Yeah, no. We just need to get the wins, Yeah. All right. So let me kind of go into this game. For those who didn't get a chance to watch it, or at least really pay close attention what happened quarter to quarter, I'm going to make this as quickly as possible. The first quarter, basically just a recap for the most part. It kind of was I've noticed lately, especially with those 2 OKC games, that first quarter has become a game where the Lakers are kind of just filling the game out. Like some quarters, the first quarters, they'll start the game off pretty hot. And then a lot of these other first quarters, like against the Thunder, the last game, and then again this game, it seems like they I wouldn't say they were flat footed, but outside of Luka, who dished in 15 points that first quarter, nobody else really showed up. And then I even say that second quarter, when you look at the box score, outside of Luka, outside of LeBron, just a little bit, there really wasn't much contribution from our big three. Austin only had 8 points, I believe, going into basically the half. And LeBron, I think, pitched in like 11 or 12. No, he had 14 points. Beg my pardon. So there wasn't really much to rave about that first half, I would say. But I felt like they were kind of filling that first half out because when you look at the third quarter, they really turned it on the defensive end. Really, you could say we won this game not because of the offensive end from Luka, who put in 45 points, but it was because of the defensive end. That third quarter alone literally was our best quarter. In a quarter that we have struggled for the past month and a half or so, we only gave up 19 points in that third quarter, which really set the tone. And then if we go into that fourth quarter, let's just talk about it, man. LeBron James at 40 years old, year 22, really put the Lakers on their back. There was a stretch for like 7 minutes. Hold on, real quick. There was a stretch for 7 minutes where LeBron literally carried the team both offensively and defensively. And if you really paid attention to what he did, call-outs, making sure that everybody's in the right place, especially when it comes to guarding Anthony Davis, they did a phenomenal job. And that's how LeBron was able to finish the game with 27 points. He only had 2 turnovers compared to the 6 turnovers I believe he had yesterday against the Thunder. So overall, it was a great game to watch as a viewer. If you're a Dallas fan, Luka fan, or just a Laker fan, it was a great game to watch.
Yeah. I was just going to say that third quarter, the beginning of it, the Mavs went on like that 11-0 or 11-2 run. It was kind of like, ooh, kind of scary for a second, but definitely glad that it ended up going in our way. But you could just tell that LeBron, like, it just like sometimes throughout the game, I'm just like, man, like I hope LeBron's okay. Like I haven't seen him do like one of those like vintage dunks in a while, you know, it feels, or as often. But then I think about it, I'm like, no, like he doesn't need to do that right now. He knows the mission. It's not try to get hurt. It's try to save yourself as much as you can for the playoffs. Like he don't care about the dunks right now. He's trying to get everybody involved for the first 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter, he's using all that energy he saved to really push down on the gas pedal. And when everyone else has got nothing, he's still got like half a tank in that, you know, never-ending, bottomless LeBron James tank that he has, though. It's impressive. And I mean, let's just say it, like, highlight of the game, was it that Reeves alley-oop? I don't even know if it was an oop. I think it was a missed 3 from Luka, and then Reeves with the come in and put back slam, and LeBron was like this, and Luka was like, and I'm over sitting here like, I was like, wait, it happened so fast, bro. I was like, wait, who was that? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Austin Reeves.
I'm dead. No, definitely the highlight of the game was definitely going to be that lob from Austin to Bron. And you know what's funny? If you notice this, I think it was what game was it? There was a game the Lakers.
Oh yeah, a couple nights ago, right? When he did it behind the back.
No. Yeah, he did behind the back, and then he tossed it up to Bron. I think that was the Pelicans game, was it?
The Warriors. Either that one or the Rockets game. It might have been. Either way, it was a couple games ago. But yeah, LeBron said it set him back like 3 days.
Oh yeah, well I wonder how much this one's going to set him back. Probably 6 days because he got up on that one. I was surprised because you got to wonder again on a back-to-back where LeBron literally just got through playing. Let me pull it up here real quick. He just got through playing 35 minutes yesterday against a very difficult Thunder team. And then he manages to stay into this game, really put the Lakers on their back for 48 minutes and finish with 36 minutes in this game. And when you look at the height that this man got up, it's almost like his head was to the rim. That was crazy. Austin
Yeah.
has been getting a little bit too reckless with these passes, man. He needs to chill a little bit. But I will say he redeemed himself with that putback dunk for sure. It was
Yeah.
something to watch. And then let's also talk about that little trick shot that Luka had that left the
Oh,
Lakers just like,
yeah.
wow. I think that was a
Yeah.
moment they were like, man, Luka's on our team? Wow. Like
For
that's
real. I'm
crazy.
like,
He's
bro,
been doing that almost every game now too.
yeah, to do that in the pickup game at the local rec, is like, all right, bro, like calm down, like let's just try to get this win, this W, like I ain't trying to sit for the next 20 minutes and watch these other people. No, this man's doing it on a regular in the NBA game on high pressure situations. I'm like, dude, you got some serious huevos, bro.
Oh yeah.
But really, I want to get to really quick. LeBron 0 for 4, something or nothing. I mean, he been doing this the last few seasons. At the end of the season, it's just, dude. I mean, he did score 27 points, so it's hard to knock it. And at least it's only 4 3-pointers, because it could be 8 3-pointers, and he's just shooting them up. So it just kind of worries me, because I'm like, dude, that 3-point shot really comes in handy. I need you to get. And the thing is, he goes in these fluctuations, but I don't like it going into the end of the season and into the playoffs, like where you're not hitting that 3. I don't know. It's just something or nothing.
So I'm going to go with my favorite segment, which we're going to work on, real talk or no talk, which is the same thing. I'm going to say nothing, no talk, because if you look at the last game just yesterday, he went 3 for 6. So what that tells me is, again, tired legs. Sometimes like you got to understand when you're playing basketball, especially on a back-to-back against these world-class athletes, sometimes it's difficult to get your legs, especially when there's travel involved. So the fact that he went 0 for 4, I don't really think there's really anything to worry about. He went 3 for 6 against the Thunder. In this game, he was actually a lot more efficient because LeBron knows if he needs to get a bucket, he can get a bucket whenever he wants. If you really pay attention to the game by quarter, it almost seems like he really is just going in the motion, waiting for the playoffs. He's not exerting himself more than he needs to. He's doing enough when it counts and when it matters the most. And when you look at him in the fourth quarter, it's a great example. Really, the whole second half, because he wasn't really doing much that first half, but he really turned it on and turned it up, not just on the offensive end, finishing the game with 27, 7, and 3, but he also turned it up on the defensive end. Like, we got to give this man credit because, remember, prior to Luka actually playing, when he first came onto the team, when he was still resting his injury, we had a stretch where our defense was like number 1 or number 2 in efficiency. Well, obviously you can't say that was AD. You can't say that was Max Christie. We don't have a big, but it was because LeBron's voice, he basically turned into AD. AD was our defensive play caller on the court, making sure everybody was where they need to be. But I felt like because AD was so great that they kind of took it for granted. Like they would allow drives to the bucket and funnel them to AD versus trying to stay in front of their man. If you notice now, especially in this game, they don't do that stuff. Every now and then they may switch, but when they switch, it's not just like it's a soft screen, we're going to like let them pass it to the next defender. They're trying to get over screens and they're staying attached to the actual offensive players. Not only that, but when you look at somebody as great as AD, who this game really, like you said, he didn't really do anything. I was kind of scared, to be honest with you, as a Lakers fan. AD didn't get a chance to have his moment in LA because he was still resting that injury. In this game, this was his game to really show the Laker fans why we should be missing him. He only had 13 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 block, or been part 6 assists and 1 block, and 4 turnovers. This was one of those AD games that made Laker fans really question, can you really be the one to take the reins from LeBron when he retires? And this was the reason why I feel like Rob Pelinka as a GM doesn't get enough credit, and hopefully now is starting to get that credit for this whole trade. Getting and making the move to get Luka. I mean, Luka's bad games don't even look like this. Luka's bad games at the worst, I think, has been like 19 points. He's still bringing in like 8, 9, 10 rebounds, but also 6, 7 assists. He'll bring in a steal or two here and there. But again, I just thought overall, It was a great game to watch. It was a very emotional game, clearly from Luka, as well
Yeah.
as the fans.
Yeah.
But it was a great watch, man.
I
Great game.
mean, not Najee Marshall with 23. I'm not saying a role player, someone else can't have a higher score, than your star player on a team on any given night. But I mean, bro, you're Anthony Davis, and he was getting triple teamed tonight, which I think was a great strategy because I mean, don't let him get going because that's when it. I just there wasn't none of that. I feel like the only dunk I saw him do was maybe I missed it because I went on a walk during halftime. Wasn't got lost in the woods and I like Mike Kenzie was like, let's go on a walk. And I was like, you want to do it during halftime or after the game? Because she keeps telling me that she's not going to plan anything during the Lakers games because, like I get stressed during these games. And so I'm like, babe, I need to sit and watch the game. So I was like, fine, babe, we can go during halftime. So we go during halftime and then we get lost in the woods. And then literally I missed the whole third quarter and like 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. And like, thank God we were only like, I think down by 2 points when I came back. But either way, I came back and I was just like thinking like, oh man, AD is gonna have like 40 points, and I come back, I'm like, yeah, I think he had like 10 when I came back. So for him to have 13, thank God. But yeah, so the one thing I want to say actually was very interesting what I saw today.
Real quick before you do, if you had to highlight what were the key things that the Lakers did to really get this win compared to what they did the last game to get that loss, what would you say was the biggest difference? Because I have an interesting stat to tell you, and I want to know what, if we're reading each other's mind here, what you think it was.
Luka not complaining to the refs.
Okay, what else? You got anything else?
I mean, I'm really curious to know because like I feel like I have a hard I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I'm the fan who I'm just like I watch the ball everywhere it goes. I'm watching. That's why on the court I feel like I'm really good when I play at the gym on the court because like I can be so aware. But like when I'm watching the NBA game, man, I just follow the ball and sometimes I'm like, oh wait, where'd he come from? I'm not really watching the game and like how it's going. I'm just so interested like the ball. And so then I get caught up in like, well, actually, I don't even know what happened. So please enlighten me.
Oh, I got you, brother. I got you, man. And you know what? Like that's the cool thing is it doesn't matter if you're a stats guy or if you're just a guy who likes to enjoy watching the game the way that you expressed yourself, man. Fans are fans, man. And if you love basketball, if you love sports, that's what we're here for this podcast is just to talk and give you real talk from different perspectives. Me, I love stats, and I love seeing how teams can bounce back, how teams were able to make certain changes from a game-to-game situation. The first thing I'm going to tell you right now that really catches my attention, and I don't know if you could pull up the stats for this in terms of the not necessarily the box score, but the team stats. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing, I would say, if anything, the three key factors that I felt like got this team the win. Number one, actually four things. Number one is we took 18 more shots than the Dallas Mavericks. We had 15 offensive rebounds compared to their 9. That's important information because we don't have a quote-unquote real center. We're playing with a lot of 3s and 4s, masking as 5s. We had literally beat the Dallas Mavericks by 1 in the rebound column, but in terms of the offensive rebounds, we limited their offensive rebounds. The next thing is the steals. We had 14 steals compared to their 6. That tells you that the Lakers were very, very, how do I say it? They put a lot of effort and attention to detail on the defensive end, like I said, especially in that third quarter. They turned it on really on that third quarter, and they led it all the way through to that fourth. And then lastly, the biggest thing that I feel like if you're really a Laker fan, and you don't even have to know stats for this, just watching the game, it frustrates you when it happens. 12 turnovers today compared to Dallas's 20. So we won those stats. That's what got us the win. You take
Mm-hmm.
18 more shots, you turn the ball over 8 times less, you steal the ball, which shows a level of intensity and effort on the defensive end
Mm-hmm.
by 8 more steals than them, and you go even on the rebounding, but you really go over because you have more offensive rebounds than the team that was technically bigger than you. That's how you win a game. And to me, I'm not going to say anything much more about the Thunder game, but I will say once again, we got robbed from what could have been a really great finish to a game. Because I'm telling you right now, this game right here, yes, it wasn't against the same competition compared to the Thunder, but this game right here shows you that there is another level that the Lakers can take if they really want to go there. And they're making really good habits going into the playoffs, which I'm very excited to see.
Yeah. I think what I've been seeing with us being playing smaller, since we don't really have like a bunch of center size kind of players. Jackson Hayes, he does what he can, and he's done more than I could have ever asked him to. But I think it's just been like being quick to, because obviously they can't go up and grab the ball with 2 hands a lot of times because they're undersized compared to some of the centers they have. So it's been a lot of like tap outs. Have you noticed it's a lot more tap outs lately than I feel like before with AD. With AD, they just kind of expected him to get the ball, and nobody else would even try to rebound. I'm like, why don't we gang rebound this? I know you're trying to get back, but like we need at least somebody else to try to rebound too. And lately, it's just been a bunch of tap outs, and thankfully we got them this game. Sometimes it doesn't go our way, but the did you notice the 0 blocks? Go figure, right?
Yeah. I kind of figured. And there was a stretch where Gafford was really imposing himself.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The 2.
Those double blocks from Vando. But I like I said, man, I love the way that this team is responding. They don't get down and stay down. They have those moments like every team is going to just happen to have in the stretch of a game, but they do really good at responding. And I have to give a shout out to JJ as a coach because, man, you can't sit here and tell me the last 2 or 3 years with Darvin Ham as your coach that when we're struggling in certain stretches of the game, he's going to call a timely timeout before we lose it. Lots of times the past 2 years when we had Darvin Ham as our coach, you would just see his hands in the pockets. That's why we always joke about it. And instead of calling a timely timeout to get some momentum back in the game, you would see the other team just break it off. And by the time the Lakers had any opportunity to get back in the game, it's too little too late. So I got to give a credit to JJ, man. You can kind of see a lot of growth and development in his coaching from the beginning of the season to right now. And with all these changes that have happened this year, from losing your star player who you were in the beginning of the year preaching should be MVP, and you made a big focal point in the offense for it to go through AD, for you to turn around 2 months left into the regular season, going into the playoffs. You're the 7th seed, I believe, at that time when we first got Luka. And then to finish out this 2-month stretch, sitting at the 3 seed with 1 game left to lock that 3 seed in, man, I'm telling you, we have a bright future. But it's not just about the future. The Lakers are here right now. When we first got Luka, all the talk was about how the Lakers are not projected to go far this year. They would be lucky to make it to the first or the second round. And very quickly, we have not been hearing those takes lately because this team is for real when they really want to turn it on. Imagine how good this team is going to be even next season when we go in the offseason and we get ourselves a center. We get ourselves
100%.
backup. So
100%. And the problem is who do we give up though? That's the thing.
Well, here's the thing. We don't have to give up really anybody for the most part. We can go look for the mid-level exception, depending on what LeBron does with his contract. I think LeBron understands going into year 23 that he can make as much money as he wants to. He's already a billionaire. It's not about the money. It's really about winning, and it's really about leaving the Lakers in a better situation as you're riding off the last few years of your career into the sunset. I would hope, I'm not saying that he's going to, but I would hope that he would have some compassion and understanding to a level and degree to really let this team see their potential, go get those pieces that we need to really contend, give him the ability to rest during the regular season a little bit more without having to worry about injuries, and then go and make a real run in the postseason. Let's see how far this goes this year. And when we see, depending on the outcome, what we're missing, if there's a player out there that's available and all it takes is making a little bit of a pay cut, you got to wonder if LeBron is willing to do that. And I think he might be.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, the next year it's a whole – I mean, even with this year, can you imagine if we had Luka throughout the season instead of AD? Not to say anything negative about AD. It's just, let's be real here. Imagine what our record would be. I don't know. Giving the Thunder a run for their money, man.
Oh, yeah.
But no, look at the scores, bro. Dude, the Spurs Warriors are literally down to 2-point game, 4 minutes left to go. And we got the Nuggets and the Kings, 8-point difference. Nah, all I got to say is fuck the Clippers, man.
I mean, I'm not even going to say that because I've already told you, man, I would love to see Clippers-Lakers first round. All the games in LA, you get all that rest. So it's almost like playing in the bubble to me. It's almost like bubble play. You're just playing all your games in LA. You get to sleep in your bed. You get to chill with your family.
I don't know, man.
It would be a real good game. You got James Harden.
Yeah. It's a sleeper, though. It's a sleeper team. The Clippers are a sleeper team. Like, I'm not saying – I'm just going to be honest with you. And, like, maybe this is a bad thing to say, but, like, I'm not saying I'm scared of the Clippers, but, like, man, they just that whole scenario with the Lakers and Clippers, man, I just feel like it's prime for the Clippers to want to beat the Lakers so bad. And could you imagine? Because the Clippers just haven't had – since Kawhi has been in a Clippers uniform, he hasn't had that moment yet. He hasn't had the biggest moment he's been in a Clippers jersey is that 3-1 letdown against the Nuggets back in 2020.
He did have a good series, I believe, against – I want to say the Suns. But the problem with just literally been one thing and one thing only. Health. You get a healthy Kawhi Leonard in the postseason, they could take anybody. As it currently stands right now, and this is literally just without these games being concluded, we wouldn't even be facing the Clippers. The Clippers are the 4 seed right now because they have all these tiebreakers over the Warriors, the Nuggets, and the Grizzlies, it looks like. But obviously, if the Clippers end up losing, which it doesn't look like is going to happen, they could go down. If the Nuggets end up losing, which, again, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, they're up by 13 right now. They could go down. If the Warriors, though, lose, that's where things get interesting because now the Warriors would get moved over to the 7 seed. You don't want to be the 7 seed if you're the Warriors. It's not because of that matchup against Houston, but it's because of the simple fact that you're now going to be playing in that play-in game. And you don't want to be playing in that play-in game where anything happens, anything goes.
Yeah.
Literally like playing college basketball. Not to mention, for the most part, this team is not very young. You still got Steph. You still got Dre. You now got Jimmy Butler, all in their 30s. If there's a team outside of the Lakers that could really use some rest because of age, it's definitely the Warriors. So the Warriors better hope, or the Warriors fans better hope, that the Warriors find a way to win this game because they're down right now. Otherwise, y'all going to be in trouble because this is not a game you're supposed to be losing. And then if you look at the rest of this, the rest of these games for the Warriors, I mean, it's not to say it's a difficult schedule left.
No, but look at that. Isn't that beautiful music to your ears right there? April 13th, the last game of this season, the Clippers and the Warriors. One of them has to get a loss.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Man.
And that's the crazy thing about this year's Western Conference, at least, because the Eastern Conference is already locked up. But the Western Conference playoffs this year, man, it's going to be crazy to watch. Like, everybody all year was talking about, it's the Thunder and everybody else. Are we really sure about that? I don't really know if we are, because right now you can make a case for the Rockets. Right now you can make a case for the Lakers. You could honestly, and again, nobody's really talking about it, but you can make a case for a handful of the teams. Why would not you include the Clippers?
Oh
Why
my
would you not
God.
include the
Yeah,
Warriors?
for
I'm
real.
like
I
the Thunder. Like I said before, man, the teams at the top of both the East and the West. What do they all have in common? They're very young teams. And the
yeah.
regular season typically is not going to have literally the best team be number one. It's very rare that you see the number one seed make it to the finals. We've seen lots of teams who are a lower seed make it to the finals because when we're talking about playoffs, it's not the same game you're playing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot about strategy. It's a lot about
Mm-hmm.
utilizing your basketball IQ, being in
Game
the
to game adjustments.
you're talking about in-game adjustments. You're also talking about series adjustments. What you do in one series, you may not do in another series. You also don't want to show too much in one series in case you go up against another opponent where you may need to use other strategies to stop them as
Mm-hmm.
well. So playoffs is much more than just your athleticism, your ability to get up and down
Mm-hmm.
the court, like the Thunder and the Rockets are really good at, like the Cavaliers and the Celtics are really good at. But man, I'm telling you, man, the if you're an NBA fan this year, you're very excited. The only thing that I'm hoping is for health and for the referees to get the hell out of the way. If
Yeah.
we get those two things, we are in store for an amazing playoff run this year, and I'm really here for it. Not just as a Lakers fan, as a basketball fan.
Yes, sir. All right. We're gonna close this up with give me a a final closer here, a shocker. Give me the answer here. What how do you feel like give me the seeds. I don't want a long answer. I want the short, quick.
How I
How
think we're
do
in the standings?
no. How do yeah, well, how does the standings go by the end of the season? How do
Oof.
you think it goes?
Okay. So I think we're
No
gonna do real
thinking.
quick.
No
Real quick.
thinking.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say Thunder 1, Houston 2, Lakers 3. I'm gonna say Clippers stay at 4, Warriors 5,
Okay.
Memphis 6, Denver 7, and
Oh.
Minnesota 8.
Oh,
Me
okay.
personally, I'm sorry. I just don't think. I think that what we're seeing even today's game against the Kings for the Nuggets, you know how they say usually they get that extra boost of energy the game after their head coach gets fired. I think that's what we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing. But after that, I mean, it's not a cakewalk. The remainder of the schedule, they have the Grizzlies and the Rockets left. I could see
Mm-hmm.
them losing either both or at least one of those games. However, given that the Rockets are resting everybody, I mean, unfortunately, I don't know how the tiebreakers look right now. But if I'm just going off the dome, I think the Nuggets find a way to just go 7 seed.
Yeah.
What about
All
you?
right, guys. I would say I go with Thunder, Rockets, Lakers. Thunder, Rockets, Lakers. Dang, man. Thunder, Rockets, Lakers.
First,
Clippers, Warriors, Wolves, Nuggets, Grizzlies.
wow. So you think the Wolves are going to make it to the 6th spot?
I mean, I don't know how it's going to work out, but book it. All right, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Just always supporting us. Give us a like. Just give us a comment. Show us feedback on what you guys think that we could do and improve. Next time we go live and I'm gonna schedule it, I'll make sure we put the live button so things aren't hectic in the beginning. But hey, you know what? There's beauty in the struggle sometimes, and so it's all about consistency, and that's what we want to be here for you guys. And we just want to be an outlet where people can go to and just get some real talk. Not that just talk, kind of stuff. We about that real talk. So it's Russ here. We got
Vincent.
very Vincent, the always great Vincent, giving us the lowdown on how it really is. And so just want to say I appreciate you guys, and tune in next time. We'll see you guys for that Rockets game on Friday. So,
yep.
Lakers W. Thank God Luka got that win tonight. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Hey, leave a
Peace.
like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, man. We're here every post game. We're trying to be more consistent in terms of the timing and everything. It's a work in progress, and like my co-host Russ said, we're gonna get better with every video. So
yes, have a good night.
Better, baby. Time to go. Y'all take care, man. Stay safe.
Peace out. Bye.